What Aaron Rodgers means for the Steelers' offense. As Aaron Rodgers asserted he wasn't holding anyone hostage, the Pittsburgh Steelers' refrain of the spring was that they were going to conduct their off-season business independent of Rodgers' decision. Yet neither's actions matched their words. As Rodgers dealt with what he called difficult stuff for members of his inner circle, attended a Kentucky Derby party and hung out with friend and rapper Mike. At a couple of his concerts, the Steelers bypassed nearly every quarterback option before drafting Will Howard in the 6th round. They also opted to sign Mason Rudolph as their lone true veteran quarterback to join an inexperienced Skylar Thompson at the position, though one of Coach Mike Tomlin's many creeds is wanting his players to be volunteers, not hostages. The Steelers all but volunteered to be Rodgers' hostage by putting all of their eggs in his basket. With the draft over, a desolate free agent quarterback market and few trade options, Rodgers is the Steelers' last best hope. And yet, on paper and on the field, Rodgers doesn't appear to be a fit for the Steelers' offense or its long-standing organizational philosophies, leaving the franchise hurtling toward an identity crisis. Tomlin doubled down on the importance of being a run-first team when he hired offensive Arthur Smith a year ago, but on Friday the Steelers are expected to agree to a deal with Rodgers, who attempted the second most passes in the NFL last season. Tomlin also repeatedly emphasized mobility as a coveted quarterback trait, yet his new signal caller took 40 sacks and rushed 34 times for 94 yards last season. And general manager Omar Khan orchestrated a blockbuster trade to acquire premier deep threat DK Metcalf on the eve of free agency and signed him to an unprecedented extension, yet now has agreed to terms with a quarterback who averaged 6.6 air yards per attempt last season, ranking 32nd out of 36 qualified signal callers. "The way we ended the season was unacceptable," Khan said at the NFL Combine. "We know we have to be better, and people expect better. We expect better, and that can't happen again. And I'm just as disappointed as everyone else, and I can tell you we're working hard to fix that and make sure it doesn't happen again." The Steelers entered the offseason promising change after a 5-game losing streak to end a regular season that began with a 10-3 record through 14 weeks. And while Rodgers, poised to be the team's 5th different Week 1 starting quarterback in as many years, is a change, it's not necessarily one in concert with their intended offensive identity. Rodgers' acquisition marks the second time in as many years the Steelers have taken a swing on a reclamation project. Like 36-year-old Russell Wilson before him, Rodgers, 41, was released before the end of his contract by the New York Jets, who once gave up a king's ransom in hopes he would reinvigorate their franchise. This is the hand the Steelers dealt themselves by not re-signing Justin Fields, their one-time quarterback who left for the Jets and a modest contract. His $20 million average annual value is the lowest among all projected starting quarterbacks not playing on a rookie deal and a fresh start. The Steelers earned Rodgers' long-awaited final rose after the Giants signed Wilson and Minnesota committed to 2024 first-round pick J.J. McCarthy as its starting quarterback. Pittsburgh then landed Rodgers after a tedious internal tug-of-war between Rodgers' desire to keep playing or to retire. At this point in his career, though, Rodgers comes with more thorns than petals. As a 4-time NFL MVP, 10-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion in a win over Tomlin's Steelers, Rodgers is an undeniable future Hall of Famer. But after 2 decades in the NFL and an Achilles rupture that cost him the 2023 season and a triumphant second act in New York, Rodgers enters Pittsburgh as a shadow of the quarterback who won back-to-back MVP awards in 2020 and 2021, last earning the NFL's highest individual honor. Rodgers' performance has been in sharp decline. In 2022 and 2024, his past 2 seasons as a starter, he ranked 26th and 25th in QBR and 21st and 26th in yards per attempt. Beyond being the ringmaster of New York's off-field circus for the better part of 2 seasons, Rodgers' on-field performance in his lone complete season as the starter declined from the gold standard set during his Green Bay career. Though Rodgers finished the season completing 63% of his attempts for 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, he posted a 48.0 QBR. His career-low QBR as a complete season starter was 41.3 in 2022. That year, his final season in Green Bay, he completed 64.6% of attempts for 3,695 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions as the Packers went 8-9.